improve their livelihood. So, and that's also one really good thing about Akvo Flow is that if you do a survey, you put options, which I did, you can then run a graphical report on, immediately. 90% of the people said this, 90% of the people said that, But yeah, good question. Anything else? Yes?
I have one question. With the rising prices of commodities, including fertilizer, has this been included in the business plan or impact on Mars? And how does this directly relate to the possible income generated by farmers locally?
Can you repeat your question? No, so for example, fertilizer in Ivory Coast costs about 19,000 francs per sack, right? Through ecom and through certain initiatives of Mars, the farmer actually gets that fertilizer for a lot cheaper. They get it for about 60% that price, right? So we're trying to kind of standardize the way that spending, I guess, if they're gonna sell their cocoa for that much, then you want to kind of give them fertilizer for that much so that they know exactly how much money they can make afterwards. But yeah, I'm not too savvy on commodity prices and all that. But if you give me your card, I can send you a more accurate response. Yeah. Anything else? Yes. So I don't know exactly what type of fertilizer we use. I know that there's a list of 12 fertilizers that do not use, right, throughout the world, and we do not use those 12 fertilizers. Also, to become certified with Rainforest Alliance, UTZ, and Fair Trade, you have to use the certified fertilizers. You can't use the toxic fertilizers. So if we want to become 100% certified, we're going to steer clear of bad fertilizers. I mean, you have to think, Mars has been around for 100 years, right? If we start investing on toxic things, those plants may produce right now, but they may die in 10 years. Do we really want that? Do we really want to have something, that's going to be good for 5 years from now and risk the future of the company? I think the answer is no. Questions? Yes?
I was holding myself from asking this question, but I said I'm going to ask it anyway.
Good.
What strikes me was the fact that you mentioned that Mars or you as an organization are trying to create a sort of a bank so farmers can take loans out.
Yeah, so we're not creating a bank. Mars is an organization.
But in terms of the concept, so farmers can afford the actual fertilizers. What strikes me is how come those farmers, I mean, they provide 35% of the world's needs of cocoa.
Yes?
Yet they need to take loans in order to buy those fertilizers. What's Mars' position towards that? I mean, towards, I don't know, reduce corruption maybe, or do you understand my point?
Yes, so...
Why they are so? Basically, that's what
Good.
This is very interesting. Within Mars, we're trying to get the employees involved, and many companies do that, try and get their employees involved in donating or supporting. I can also imagine that Mars as a company has an interest in having those farmers being more productive. So have you thought of combining this with, let's say, as a part of your corporate social responsibility, your supply chain management, as a company to also invest in those farmers in Ivory Coast, perhaps even by simply matching the fund that comes from the employees or any other ways of investing?
Right, so the part...
Now it depends on the employees rather than on the companies.
Yeah, so the funds that come in through the employees are actually a very small part of the funds that are actually donated. That's another program that's more related to Mars and Rabobank that I'm not too familiar with, but I know that a lot more money comes from that other program than this one. This is more along the lines of, if we're going to implement something, we want to have our employees also know what we're doing, right? We want to be able to push something, you want to have everybody in the organization aligned to say, we really need to help the farmers. It won't work if the people don't know that there's a farmer in Ivory Coast that makes 35% of the chocolate in the world, because then imagine in an organization you don't know where your raw materials come from. It's kind of absurd. But that's the way that that's the way that it's been, and now, we really want to show them what it is. The other thing is, if I tomorrow decide, oh, Mars is a very profitable company, why don't I just give them the fertilizer, right? It's not going to work, because if you get something for free, you may not realize the value of it if you really didn't have to do anything for it, right? If I just throw money at something to solve the problem, it's really not going to solve the problem. It comes more with education. Well, if I just give you the fertilizer, then when the fertilizer's not available, you'll say, well, if the fertilizer's not available, I'm just going to grow another crop, or I'm just going to do something different. It's part of a sustainable push that we want to do, that we want to create this sense of education, that people know exactly what it is to borrow something, pay it back. It's a longer term thing than just throwing money at a problem.
I'm sorry I have to cut in right now because due to time, Manuel will be here.
Yeah, if we want to talk afterwards.
Lunch and drinks, so